The Minnesota Vikings, they had a pretty, change heavy offseason because they had a new general manager, a new basically a whole new front office and a new coaching staff. As we mentioned, they added Darius Smith in free agency on a big deal to the Packers released him. Should at least get 2 revenge games out of him. Jordan Hicks also signed from Arizona, Harrison Phillips as well. Some nice additions on the defensive side of the ball there. They lost Tyler Conklin, Michael Pearson. Of course, they have a new coaching staff with Kevin O'Connell replacing Mike Zimmer. Kirk Cousins also got an extension. I think it's pretty tough to it's tough to get a grasp on what the Vikings will be, right? Yeah. Because Zimmer's been there so long. Now, the defense has not been good for the last few years. Some people will argue that because the defense could get better because they're healthier. I think the loss of Zimmer is going to make the defense worse. I don't care what you think about Mike Zimmer. He's a really good defensive coach, and losing him is going to be problematic. Don't get me wrong. They could be, they could. If the defense is good, it's not outrageous because they have some nice personnel. But Ed Donatel is not exactly Wade Phillips here, somebody who's noted for coming in and fixing defenses. The offense I would expect would be better, and they'll probably utilize Dalvin Cook more in the passing game. That's what he sort of mentioned, but not exactly an easy. Although I guess I guess it depends. They opened the Packers at home and then at the Eagles. 0-2 is. They're probably not favored in either of those games.
No. You really gotta, again, right after that, really capitalize when you have the Lions, Saints, Bears, and even Dolphins before the bye. That's where you're gonna start to stack up wins to feel really confident. If all of a sudden you're hovering around 500 at the bye there in week 7, you're starting to have some worries there. I think that is DeAndre Hopkins going to be back for that game with the Cardinals? What is that, week 8?
Yeah, he'd be back for week 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not.
So all right. So you got the Packers and the Eagles. Let's just say you go 1-1 because we get the Packers a loss there.
Yep. Sure.
I think you beat the Lions at home, so you're 2-1. I think losing at the Saints is probably 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you're probably split with the Bears and Dolphins too, since one's at home and on the road. So 3-3 is not crazy, and we're giving you a win against the freaking Packers here.
Right.
So, right. You come out, it's home against the Cardinals. That's a dogfight. At Washington, not an easy one. At Buffalo, it's probably a loss.
That stretch beginning right there, really. At Buffalo, then you go to then you're hosting Dallas, even hosting New England on Thanksgiving.
Yep,
those won't be easy.
And you've also got the Jets at home. That's probably a win. But then you're at the Lions, Colts at home, Giants at home, and then at the Packers, which you would anticipate would be a loss before closing at the Bears, which Kirk Cousins just had trouble at Chicago. I don't think Chicago's going to be good this year. So, that's, we'll see. But if their win total is 9, the over -125 after going 8-9 a year ago. I know they also had Lewis Cine and Andrew Booth on the defensive side of the ball, but man, I just don't know where to go with this team. 9-8 or 8-9 feels totally possible. Could they be a 10-win team and sneak into the playoffs? Yeah, for sure. As a wild card, wouldn't shock me at all. But, I think they're definitely probably the second best team in this division.
Mm-hmm.
But I do worry that the Lions might, take a little step forward, and all of a sudden, you lose the possibility of getting those wins. We don't know what this coaching staff can. We don't know how this coaching staff will operate. It could be great. Could be, it could be TB. They're just very much a toss-up to me.
Yeah, and it's just tough when you look at the schedule. It's tough to see where they can stack up wins. We just talked about the few weeks leading up to the bye. Lions, Saints at New Orleans will be difficult. Bears and Dolphins. There's a chance there where you can pile up wins, but after that, Commanders, then you get the Bills and the Cowboys and the Patriots, and you have the Jets and the Lions. Okay, maybe you could stack up a couple wins there, but then you're facing the Colts, then you face the Giants. And then it's the Packers. There's not a lot of room there to stack 2-3 wins every single week, or at least I don't think you're gonna be favored in multiple weeks going in a row.
Yeah, really the only stretch, it depends. If they're good, if they come out and start, 4-2 or 5-1, then they're going to be favored in more of those games after the bye. But 5-1 would be a shocker going into that week 7 bye. I think 3-3 is much more likely. 4-2. Again, entirely possible. You beat, hold serve at home, and then win one at New Orleans or at Miami, and you're right there. But or at Philly, I guess. I mean, it's just there's a lot of like we just don't know how good this team is going to be. I think the offense can be great. If the defense is average or above average, then the Vikings are really a playoff team. If the defense stinks, it's just going to be tough to overcome. It feels like it could be a lot like last year where they're just in these crazy games. And, you would think O'Connell will open the offense up a little bit more than Zimmer would, or at least keep his foot on the gas, not try to play in these close, crazy games, But like I said, it's just like kind of a mystery team. I would not – I don't know. I don't think I would want to take the under, but I don't think I want to take the over either.
Well, let me tell you this, or let me ask you this: if they get 10 wins, if they go over this number, if they're 10-7, are they making the playoffs in an NFC?
In the NFC, yeah. And Kevin O'Connell's probably a coach of the year candidate.
So you're probably better off, because again, this is minus 125. You're better off I had this number yesterday. You're plus 105 to make the playoffs for the Vikings.
Yeah, I like that.
If you like the over on this, there's more value in to just say make or miss playoffs, make playoffs plus 105.
In fact, because 9 and 8 could even make the playoffs in theory in the NFC. So you could avoid the push by going to bet 105 to make the playoffs, and you have multiple paths to get there, right? Like you have 3 wildcard spots and a division spot, even though that's a pretty unrealistic place to go. So yeah, I think I like that a lot better. Good call.
Yeah.